November is Strategic Financial Planning Month, and this week's topic is going to be building a strategic financial plan for growth. Short video here with a more in-depth article online. So why do most traditionals fail in the sense of building a strategic plan for growth? Well, that's because a lot of businesses actually just prepare and plan for the revenue portion of it. And so today that's like going out on a ship and only taking a compass, handheld compass with you. Nothing else, no other gadgets or gizmos that can help you figure out and chart your path. So in today's market, we really need a more comprehensive approach. In the business I've been in, every year we gather with the senior leaders and talk about where we are today, where we want to be tomorrow, and how we're going to get there. So it's very important. And I'm going to go through some of the things that we talk about in those meetings. It's really a core framework of 4 steps there. The first step in the core framework is going to be strategic alignment. So that's where you want to start with your destination in mind. So where do you and your firm want to be in 3 to 5 years? That's both business and personal goals. All right, where do you want to be in 3 to 5 years? If those are aligned, it makes it much more easy to actually hit that target. You also want to find out things like, hey, what's your target market position? Where are you at in that level? What type of personnel capabilities do you have? What areas do you need to bolster up? So things of that nature to really get your bearings on where you are today and what needs to happen into the future. I know for me, we always, every year we come together and do a SWOT analysis. Really big, really enjoy that. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That not only helps you go into the next year, but also makes you think strategically into the future to that 5-year vision. The second of the framework is going to be position assessment. So you got to know your starting point, know your revenue patterns. If there's some sort of seasonality to it, you've got to bake it in. Okay, you also got to look at your cash flow dynamics. When you go into this strategic plan, this growth plan, do you have at least 3 months of cash cushion? Or are you waiting on like, hey, a big deal just around the corner? On both revenue, also expenses. If you know, hey, I put on an event every Q1 of every year, you know that you've got to build that into your strategic plan for growth to make sure you can get over those humps. Also, on the list, team capabilities. So are you going to this plan short-staffed headed into the year? If you are, that's fine, and you just have to take that into consideration. That'll take some of the time away from other leaders as they look to fill those roles. So utilization, are you utilizing your staff the best you could? Do you need to hire? Do you need to skill up? How does that play in? Then you want to look at where you are in the marketplace. Part of the first goal, but this one is really going to refine where you are currently. The third one is going to be the growth strategy. So, and there's 3 essential components of this growth strategy that you're going to get into. One is going to be the revenue strategy. That's where you need to talk and assess new markets. Are there new products or offerings you can put out there? Are there new channels? What is going to propel your growth into the year 3, 4, 5? You're going to get down the list, resource planning. What talent do you have today? What talent do you need tomorrow? Okay, what talent do you need 5 years from now? Also, technology. Where are you at today with your technology stack? Evaluate where you need to be in a year and 5 years. It's a lot easier to build your tech stack knowing where you want to go in the 5 years. And also capital, dollar bills. Where are you at right now? What's in the piggy bank? What do you need to be at to get to the 5-year mark? Is it a new market expansion? Okay, is it an acquisition? So you need to figure out where that funding needs to come from if it's not going to come from your operating cash flow. Then you got to get down to risk management. I think it's very important that when you're going into business, you're shooting for the stars and you're going full force. You have to be 100% committed. With that said, on your long year strategic planning for growth, you want to make sure you've got a medium, low, and high case. And you don't put all your eggs in the high case basket. You have to have some contingencies, because we all know running a business is not a straightforward type activity. Fourth is going to be performance monitoring. All right, this is the last step of it. And it's really going to be like, hey, what are you tracking here? So you want to track your growth metrics that you're setting up. You want to track your cash flow indicators. You want to track your customer success metrics. Okay, so things like this, so things I would look at would be strategy sessions sat per day. And those strategy sessions lead to partnership calls. Partnership calls lead to, depending on your close one rate, close one deals. That's revenue in the door. So you want to monitor that as it goes through. Ultimately, it's really important that when you're preparing for growth, you look at all key components across the business. You have to really look at what you're working with today and figure out, dive deep, what needs to change to be where you want to be in 5 years. If you're really looking for that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus X growth, you are going to have to change your ways. What you did yesterday won't get you there tomorrow. Make sure you're surrounded by a great leadership team. Make sure you have a great learning and development so that you can build your employees up as you grow. Of course, you may have the top skill, but ultimately you want your business to grow and flourish. Remember, the best financial plans evolve with your business.